has scored 2 as Kilmarnock are on easy street against struggling Aberdeen. Latest score there is Kilmarnock 4, Aberdeen 0. And there is a man under pressure tonight, the Aberdeen boss, Alex Miller, who's just seen his team lose 4-0 at Rugby Park. And their awful run continues. They've now had just 1 win in their last 16 matches. The Aberdeen players trudged down the Rugby Park dressing room corridor, but those Kilmarnock fans celebrating a comfortable and very easy win. Stuart Milne, the Aberdeen chairman, also a man who will have a lot of hard decisions to make over the next few weeks. Aberdeen 4-0 losers at Kilmarnock this afternoon. That's the match we'll have for you on Sports Scene Match of the Day later on tonight. And there it is, just going through on the video printer. Kilmarnock 4, Aberdeen 0. Rob McLean is ready for us now after watching a quite remarkable match at Rugby Park this afternoon. The problems pile up for Aberdeen. Here's Rob's report.
That's right, Dougie, the problems pile up for Aberdeen. Maths was never my strong point. I think my old school teachers would probably confirm that, but I make it. Kilmarnock are now joint top of the Scottish Premier League tonight and trailing Rangers only very marginally on goal difference. I'm sure, Dougie, you'll confirm that to us later when you have a look at the league tables. And Kilmarnock didn't have long to wait against struggling Aberdeen to take the lead. Durrant looking for Gus MacPherson. The perfect pass. Good play from MacPherson, and Jim Leighton is beaten. Luckless Jim Leighton there as he tried to flap the ball away from underneath the crossbar. Ali Mitchell nodding in goal number 1, and it was Mitchell who made it 2 in the first half, set up by the industrious Jérôme Vareille. This time a shot placed well away from Leighton into the corner. That was 2-0 Kilmarnock, and Vareille himself scored the 3rd goal in the first half for the home team after John Ingles had needlessly given the ball away for Aberdeen, and Ian Durrant it was, the superb Durrant yet again for Kilmarnock this afternoon, who set up Vareille to squeeze a shot between Jim Leighton and his near post. In the second half, Kilmarnock were almost able to slip back into 3rd gear and still push the ball around, still frustrate a demoralised, devastated, dismayed, and probably a few other adjectives beginning with D, Aberdeen side. And the victory was complete for Kilmarnock and the misery was complete for Aberdeen when Robbie Winters bundled over Gary Holt needlessly in the penalty box. It was just a yard from the byline in the corner of the penalty box, no danger threatening, but it was a clear penalty kick. Up stepped Paul Wright and stroked the ball past Jim Leighton. So Aberdeen's misery piles up. Alec Miller looked at a black cloud over his head as he headed for the dressing room. What does he do next? What does Stuart Milne, the Aberdeen chairman, do next? Well, I know what Kilmarnock will do next. They'll celebrate tonight because their 4-0 victory here has taken them to joint top of the Scottish Premier League.
And Kilmarnock's 4-0 win over bottom of the table Aberdeen takes them into joint top place in the Premier tonight. Rangers still ahead on just 1 goal, 16 as against 15. Celtic, of course, play Hearts tomorrow. They're 5 points behind. And the man who perhaps will be happiest with that result at Rugby Park is, of course, the Kilmarnock manager, Bobby Williamson. He's talking now to Rob McLean.
Bobby, you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, it was a great performance, especially the first 45. We played as well as we've played all season, and we got our goals at good times.
An Aberdeen side obviously lacking in confidence, but you've still got to do the job, haven't you?
That's right. The press probably fired Aberdeen up this week with some of the comments attributed to them, and they came here and they started off reasonably well, but as I said, we got the goals at good times, and the game is nearly over at half-time.
2 goals for Ali Mitchell. Sometimes he doesn't grab the headlines in the shadow of the likes of Durrant and McCoist, right. But he played well and he took his chances well. He
played very well today, and he's always capable of scoring goals for his Ali, and I'm delighted for him. The other 2 midfield players scored last week, and he felt out of things this week, so he got a bit of stick during the week, and he's answered back well.
Was that as well as Kilmarnock have played this season?
We played really well up at Tannadice, and for 45 minutes I think we might just have shaded that. But yeah, it was a great performance, especially the first 45. Second half we knew it would be harder. Aberdeen obviously came back out again and put us under a bit of pressure at times, knocking the ball about and getting at us, but we weathered that, and we got the 4th for the penalty spot.
Saw you a couple of times screaming and shouting the odds on the touchline. You're never happy, are you?
No, we've got to try and emphasise it and try and keep them playing football and try to do the right things, and I felt at times we overdone it a wee bit with some of the passing. We could maybe get forward a bit quicker, but that's it. You set standards and you try and maintain them, and well done to the lads today.
How do you feel about being joint top with Rangers now?
Oh, that's great, that's great. We'll get something to go for next week at Ibrox, and hopefully if we can take a big support up, we'll not be able to let them down.
And feeling good as the season progresses, I mean, do you feel you can stay there?
Well, who knows? We've got a strong squad of players. You've seen the subs we introduced today, and there's still a few more that are maybe not fit enough yet, and I feel we have got a strong enough squad, so we should be able to go a distance. But as I said, every team in this league can beat each other on their day, and we've got to be guarded against that, and we've got to be respectful to that.
OK, well done today, Bobby, thanks.
Cheers, Rob.
Yes, Bobby and his squad down at Rugby Park doing a splendid job, and they, of course, as Bobby says, now have a match at Ibrox to look forward to next Saturday. On Sports Scene tonight, can Bobby Williamson take his Kilmarnock side to the top of the league against struggling Aberdeen? Still smiling when he arrives at Rugby Park, but of course he is now the latest Aberdeen manager to feel the pressure after a string of bad results. The man in the number 10 jersey for Kilmarnock has been in outstanding form. Another dominant midfield performance today would not only strengthen Killie's championship challenge, but could also send the Dons to the foot of the table. The commentator at Rugby Park is Rob McLean.
To play Aberdeen, it's the same Kilmarnock team which won 3-0 at Dunfermline last Saturday, as seen on Sports Scene Match of the Day. Mark Roberts has recovered from injury but starts on the bench, with Mark Reilly keeping his place as anchorman in midfield. The back four in front of Gordon Marshall has a settled look to it, with Gus MacPherson on the right and the rejuvenated Martin Baker on the left. Veteran Ray Montgomery continues to play an important part. And Kevin McGowne has to be one of the unsung heroes of this Kilmarnock team, not unsung though by the supporters who acknowledge the way he dominates in central defence. After losing 3-0 at home to Dundee United 7 days ago, Alec Miller makes 3 changes to the Aberdeen team. Dropped are Mark Perry and Ilyan Kyriakov. Mike Newell is relegated to the bench. Back into the defence come Jamie Buchan, who's been injured, and transfer listed John Ingalls. 21-year-old Dennis Wyness comes in on the right side of midfield alongside Pepper, Rowson and Dow, and Robbie Winters is pushed up front alongside Ian Jess. Aberdonian Wyness starts his first top-team match in 2 seasons. 3 subs appearances are all he can boast since August, but the youngster gets his chance with other, more experienced players struggling to deliver. The referee for Kilmarnock against Aberdeen is Hugh Dallas. Kilmarnock start the match. In terms of confidence, there couldn't be much more between these two. Kilmarnock are high on it. Headed away by Ingalls. And Aberdeen really struggling at the moment. They won their first 3 matches of the season. Jess offside. And they've only managed to win 1 of the following 15. Ian Jess has managed to maintain his form against all odds. Jerome Vareille, strong on the ball, in from Gus MacPherson, left by Wright, and knocked away by Gary Smith. That's Baker. Touch from Ingalls. Ray Montgomery's header, and now gets it back from Martin Baker. Didn't want it back though. Now Winters, chance to show his pace. Back comes McGowne, and a good effort from Robbie Winters. Just a minute gone, and forcing Gordon Marshall into the save. He was kept out wide by McGowne, but he got plenty behind this shot. At the byline, Jimmy Buchan wasn't allowing him any time. Winters, it's good play, linking up with Wyness, and Ian Jess just marginally offside. The pass needed to be played a fraction quicker. Looking for Gus MacPherson, the perfect pass. Good play from MacPherson, and Jim Leighton is beaten. It's Ali Mitchell for Kilmarnock, 6 minutes gone. No luck there for Leighton. The miss-hit effort deceived him, and when he flapped it clear, there was Mitchell to knock in his second goal of the season. Fired across by MacPherson. It was Vareille's effort that was palmed away by Leighton, and Jim Leighton was lying in the back of the net when Ali Mitchell took full advantage here It's 1-0 Kilmarnock. Durrant, the deftest of touches for Reilly. Now Gary Holt lining up the shot. It was well hit as well. Sadly for him, it was straight at Jim Leighton. He got the opportunity and he wasn't holding back. Reilly coming back from Montgomery. Gary Holt's header. That was Wright. And Mitchell to Paul Wright, tackling back and then given away. And a spectacular effort from Paul Wright. We've seen him score some amazing goals in his time. And just for a moment, I think some of the Aberdeen supporters had their hearts in their mouths. Spotted Jim Leighton a couple of yards off his line, but it was hooked wide. Pepper looking for Winters. Reilly got there first. Durrant exchanging passes with Wright. It's a good one by Durrant, tackled from behind by Nigel Pepper, and that will be a yellow card for the Aberdeen midfielder. Durrant had the beating of him. He had a reputation in England as being something of a hard man. A few red cards in his time, and that's a yellow. Jim Leighton beaten once already. They want to be vigilant here. Durrant over the ball. Gary Holt as well. Set up for Paul Wright. Back off the wall. Durrant again. Back from Baker. Well, the pressure just won't go away for Alec Miller. A dire run of results, and one down already at Rugby Park. Good turn by Vareille, cleared by Derek White. Now Dow, happy just to knock that away from the Aberdeen area. Returned though by Montgomery, controlled by Vareille. John Ingles with the header. Loose play from Pepper. Right to Durrant. Good strike by Ian Durrant. He's hot at the moment. 2 goals at East End Park last Saturday, one of them a screamer. And he got good contact here with the right foot. Doing well, Smith. Linking with Andy Dow. Ian Jess dropping off to receive it, then through for Pepper. Winters waiting in the middle. Jess again. Superb vision. Bringing in Rowson. And Nigel Pepper wasn't far away. Had a swing at it with his right foot. Didn't quite make contact. This was a good ball from Rowson. Spotted Pepper's run and just a fraction away. Buchan got a foot in, flicked on by Rowson. Back from Jess to Pepper. Nigel Pepper having a look around to see what was available. Across from Smith to Dow. Dow eased off the ball by MacPherson. Bit too predictable from Aberdeen. And a tug at the shirt of MacPherson by Pepper. Gives Kilmarnock a free kick, which they quickly take. Baker playing the ball outside Smith for the Mitchell run. That's a foul by Gary Smith. Surely an unnecessary foul by Smith this, and it will bring him a yellow card, which he would well be able to do without. He clipped the heels of Mitchell, and Gary Smith booked for the foul on the Kilmarnock midfielder. Busy penalty area. McGowne and Baker and Holt jostling for position. In from Durrant. There's a chance for Mark Reilly. Playing a penalty kick. It was charged down by Wright. And Durrant beaten by a Winus. The youngster did well. The game stopped. And Nigel Pepper in need of some repairs after this chance. The edge of the area for Reilly on his right foot. Out came Derek White, came off his arm, and I don't think he knew too much about it. And it's been a bad first half so far for the Aberdeen chairman. His face tells all, Stuart Milne. Aberdeen very much in a low. Long raking pass from Derek White, headed it away by Gus MacPherson. Claim for handball against Ali Mitchell, just outside the area. Hugh Dallas was having none of it. Gary Holt, good play, strong play through the middle. Now Vareille. He looked as if he'd overrun it, gets a second chance. Gary Holt's available, and Ali Mitchell! It's Mitchell's second! 12 minutes to go to half-time. The Kilmarnock fans are on their feet again. Jerome Vareille, maybe a touch fortunate, but with the persistence to get clear of Derek White, turned the ball back. And there was Ali Mitchell to give Jim Leighton no chance. The pass behind Holt, but it was set up perfectly for Mitchell. So after scoring his second goal of the season with the header, now his third, and 2-0 Kilmarnock. And in the aftermath of that goal, Ian Jess has been yellow carded. Winter's flick, cleared by Montgomery. Back from Holt to Durrant, sweeping the ball towards Baker. Now Mark Reilly, breakdown in communication. Nigel Pepper's lost it, he was started, Ian Durrant wasn't. And you could see what he was trying to do there. He was trying to chip that with the right instep and lift it over Leighton. Didn't get it quite right, but he did so well to win the ball in the first place. In goes to Pepper, beaten by Reilly. A loose pass for once from Durrant. Baker, Reilly, Wright. Looking for Vareille, finds his way through. It was aimed at MacPherson. Wilson losing it this time. Flipped on by Wright for Vareille. Again, poor play out from the back from Aberdeen, setting up Kilmarnock. Durrant for Vareille, and that's number 3. Kilmarnock are running riot. 7 minutes from half-time. And Jerome Vareille scores his 4th goal of the season. Again, Aberdeen played themselves into trouble. And Ian Durrant was on hand to set up Vareille. He didn't catch the shot properly, but he got enough on it to squeeze it between Leighton and the near post. Gary Smith was trying to get back, but couldn't get there. It always looked odds-on for Kilmarnock, the strike the minute Aberdeen gave the ball away. It took a touch off Gary Smith, but that's Vareille's goal, and 3-0. That's for Winters. It breaks for Andy Dow. And it's a loose pass from Dow. Gave Ian Jess no chance. Nigel Pepper losing out to Ali Mitchell. Vareille against Wright. Durrant's back heel. Kevin McGowne up helping the attack. And it's a sign of how things are going for Kilmarnock that Kevin McGowne feels able to wander up from the back and get involved with a crack at goal, a couple of 1-2s, and then the left foot strike. But not too much for Aberdeen to be proud of in this match so far. Ian Durrant, an absolutely superb form at the moment for Kilmarnock. Flipped on by Holt for Vareille. Beaten by Buchan. Jamie Buchan has had a hard time in this first half, trying to cope with Jerome Vareille. And coping is something that his team have not done very well in this first half. They've been overrun by Kilmarnock. And Kilmarnock side on top form, and 2 goals in the first half for Ali Mitchell. 1 for Vareille. And to say Kilmarnock are on top doesn't quite cover the story.
Formal exit from the EU, we talked to a Brexiteer and a Remainer.
Dow drove the ball across, a mishit from Vareille. Jim Leighton flopped it away, but there was Ali Mitchell to nod in the game. Kevin McGowne up helping the attack. And it's a sign of how things are going for Kilmarnock that Kevin McGowne feels able to wander up from the back and get involved with a crack at goal, a couple of 1-2s, and then the left foot strike. But not too much for Aberdeen to be proud of in this match so far. Ian Durrant, an absolutely superb form at the moment for Kilmarnock. Flipped on by Holt for Vareille. Beaten by Buchan. Jamie Buchan has had a hard time in this first half, trying to cope with Jerome Vareille. And coping is something that his team have not done very well in this first half. They've been overrun by Kilmarnock. And Kilmarnock side on top form, and 2 goals in the first half for Ali Mitchell. 1 for Vareille. And to say Kilmarnock are on top doesn't quite cover the story. Superb pass from Ian Durrant early on. It picked out Gus MacPherson. The nutmeg on Andy Dow, drove the ball across, a mishit from Vareille. Jim Leighton flopped it away, but there was Ali Mitchell to nod in the game's opening goal. The persistence of Vareille responsible at number 2, and again Mitchell with the finish. For him, goals 2 and 3 of the season. Aberdeen guilty of very sloppy play, though. They gave the ball away before the 3rd goal, which was tucked away underneath his shirt somewhere, was Jerome Vareille. So the Kilmarnock fans couldn't be happier. Their team have run riot in this first half, and Aberdeen a very demoralised looking side. Half-time, Kilmarnock 3, Aberdeen 0. Aberdeen get the match restarted. They looked a totally demoralised and devastated team at the end of the first half. Can they pick themselves up and try to avoid the unforced errors which played themselves into trouble in that first half? Aberdeen have made a change. during the interval. Russell Anderson is on, and Dennis Wyness looked a bit overawed by the whole thing. Has gone off. Away from Montgomery. Gary Holt. Paul Wright. Linking play together. There's MacPherson. That's for Holt. Derek Wright with him. And Holt did enough to force the Aberdeen captain to concede the first corner of the second half. Doesn't give up much, Gary Holt. Durrant's corner kick. First time from Gus MacPherson. Well spotted here by Durrant, and good quality on the strike. Vareille. Flicked on by Vareille. Holt. Paul Wright was waiting for it to come down. Had a fairly spectacular attempt at an overhead kick. Foul on Anderson. MacPherson for Holt. Did well, Gary Holt. With his toe to the ball. Pushed it away from Derek Wright. That's in front of Jerome Vareille. Hammered across goal! Not clear by Russell Anderson. It wasn't too far away from Paul Wright. Cleared by Ingalls. Another good attack from Kilmarnock. Here's Holt, trying to play the 1-2 with Paul Wright. Danny Smith comes away with it. Rowson to Jess. Jess waiting for more players to get forward for Aberdeen. There's Buchan, now Dow. Pepper against Reilly and forces the corner kick. This was a well carved out opportunity. The tenacity of Holt won the ball. The pass through for Vareille, quickly whipped across goal, and Paul Wright just a half a yard away. In from Jess, headed away by MacPherson. Back it goes to Ian Jess. Whipped in. Winters was jumping. Illegally, says Hugh Dallas, free kick. Jess to Pepper, now Ingalls, and Russell Anderson taking too long. Ali Mitchell has it. Now it's Durrant, and a good hit as well from Ian Durrant. Thought about launching this into the box, and then decided to have a crack at goal himself. Down to Jess. Kilmarnock win it back. Baker. Paul Wright. Good strong challenge from John Ingalls. In for Jess. Tackled by Montgomery. Durrant to Martin Baker. Early ball in for Jerome Vareille. A chance for Vareille. That might well have burst the net if it had been on target. Well found by Baker. An intelligent early ball. Derek Wright was struggling. Off target from Vareille. Just trying to steer this in with the right instep. Well, some people are never happy. 3-0 up. Bobby Williamson still wants better. Alec Miller would be grateful for small mercies at the moment. The Jess head flick for Robbie Winters. It's well defended by Kilmarnock. Now Paul Wright. Jerome Vareille races onto it. Holt is in the middle. Durrant waiting, and Paul Wright took a deflection on its way over. Again, Kilmarnock very impressive when they break out. Turned back by Vareille, and Durrant set up Paul Wright. Gary Holt complements Ian Durrant so well in the Kilmarnock midfield. A good mix with Reilly and Mitchell there as well. McGowne's header, back for MacPherson. Gary Holt, bundled over, and a penalty kick. It gets worse for Aberdeen. This was a crazy challenge from Robbie Winters with the ball a couple of yards from the byline. Holt was knocked over. Penalty kick. Another self-inflicted wound for Aberdeen. And Paul Wright with the chance to twist the knife on his old team. Wright scores for Kilmarnock. It's number 4. Paul Wright's 7th goal of the season. His 3rd penalty. And you would always put your money on the Kilmarnock striker in this sort of situation. Pushed it wide of Jim Leighton. And that's 4-0 Kilmarnock with 21 minutes of the second half gone. Well, they liked that one as well. Back from Baker. Out comes Gordon Marshall. It's a mistake, and it's Robbie Winters who can't take the chance. A lapse in concentration from Gordon Marshall, doing some repairs on the pitch. He obviously reckons the ball bobbled over his foot here as he tried to play a fairly simple pass out. Winters was set up, but the effort was too high. So nothing goes right for Alec Miller's team. White to Rowson. Mike Newell did well. Here's Good. And wins a corner kick of Gus MacPherson. And Gus felt that. They want to soldier on. Kilmarnock have played all 3 subs. Jess corner kick. Up was Ingles. Back in from Rowson. Knocked down by Goods. And the offside flag up before Derek White put the ball in the back of the net. It wouldn't have brought a whole lot of joy to Aberdeen anyway, even if the flag had stayed down. It's been a miserable afternoon for the Dons. Jess with Mahood close to him. No way through for Andy Dow. A few quick passes and Kilmarnock are on the move again. Mahood, signed from Morton, and a useful player to have around, and a very impressive Kilmarnock squad, and a very impressive showing. And there's the face of misery this afternoon, really. Alec Miller has watched on as his side was systematically dismantled by Kilmarnock. And grim-faced is the Aberdeen chairman, Stuart Milne, who must wonder what he can do next to try to get his team going in the right direction. But the Kilmarnock fans see their team heading ever upwards in the Scottish Premier League. This afternoon at Rugby Park, Kilmarnock 4, Aberdeen 0. Bobby, you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, it was a great performance, especially the first 45. We played as well as we've played all season, and we got the goals at good times.
What were Aberdeen lacking today?
Well, I think they're lacking the quality of some of the players that Kilmarnock had. I think Ian Durrant ran the show. I thought Durrant was excellent today, and it's a player like that in the midfield that's got the idea and the class, and they know how the football, know how they can hurt teams, and he definitely hurt teams. Our two strikers worked hard, but our two strikers at the start of the game I thought were excellent, but just never got enough supply.
Saw you a couple of times screaming and shouting the odds on the touchline. You're never happy, are you?
No, we've got to try and emphasise it and try and keep them playing football and try to do the right things. And I feel at times we overdone it a wee bit with some of the passing. We could maybe get forward a bit quicker. But that's it. You set standards and you try and maintain them, and well done to the lads today.
What do you do now to get Aberdeen back on the rails?
Well, I think we've got to try and the money that we have to invest, we've got to try and invest it, but it's proven very difficult to invest it, in the sense that we've made numerous bids, we've made deals, and then all of a sudden it's broke down because the player that a club was wanting to buy wouldn't go to them, so we couldn't get the player we were wanting. But we do need players, and there's no getting away. When you look at some of the ages of the players here, we need to go with more experience and try and do that. We will change certain areas with the personnel we have here.
Can Kilmarnock stay at the top end of the table?
I don't know. You know, everybody, a lot of people said when after 2 or 3 games when we are second or third of the table, everybody thought it was impossible for Kilmarnock to stay at this position, and I think we've done a great job. We can show to everybody we can stay in this place, so we have to keep going, and we'll see. For us, for Kilmarnock, it's not a big club, so it's just, I think it's just a dream to finish top of the league. But we don't know this. We don't know. Why not?
Yes, it'll be a long, silent and unhappy journey back to the northeast for Aberdeen. We'll reflect on their problems in a moment, but let's pay a full tribute to Kilmarnock, Gordon, because today they were very impressive and looked like a team at the top of the table.
Well, they did. I think they were strong all round, and right from the very start they had a good attitude about the game. And Aberdeen, to be fair, didn't start too badly either. I mean, both teams, I think the first goal, Killie got it, the run of play, and it was a pretty even game up to then. But the one thing from Aberdeen's point of view is it seemed the heads went down when they lost the second goal, and after that Kilmarnock were always in charge.
Yeah. A 4-0 scoreline, Willie. Were Aberdeen very bad or were Kilmarnock very good, or was it a bit of both?
I think a bit of both, yeah. Kilmarnock were very good. I thought they dominated midfield area after about a 15-minute period of the first half. Vareille up front, I thought, caused the Aberdeen back four all sorts of problems. I thought it was a very good, positive show from Kilmarnock, but Aberdeen have got to look at the goals they lost, the sloppy defending, the lack of closing down in midfield, and they've got to acknowledge that they do have problems. Certainly a 4-0 away defeat to Kilmarnock reflects that they do have problems.
Yeah, no question about that. Let's take a look at those 4 goals then. Gordon, just talk us through the first one here.
Superb ball, Ian Durrant, as simple as that. I mean, that's opened up the defence. Gus MacPherson, very willing to get forward, nice little nutmeg handed down, managed to get it past Buchan. I think Jim Leighton's unlucky, to be honest with you. I think Jerome Vareille mishits the ball, really, and it just loops in the air, can go anywhere, but it was a nice move. I said, Durrant always willing to change the play there and open things out. He sees the pass, but MacPherson will make that run all day when it's on from, as I said. But look at this, Jerome Vareille doesn't catch it at all. Jim Leighton set himself for a firm shot, gets caught out, doesn't get the leap off the ground, and Ali Mitchell, who's doing really well, does well to finish that off.
Ali Mitchell again for the second, will it?
Yeah, good positive run. I thought Vareille had an excellent game. Derek would be a little bit disappointed with that challenge, but Mitchell following up, superb finish into the corner. Jim Leighton, no chance in it, and a wonderful move from Kilmarnock. Vareille is very strong, he's positive as well. I thought he had a fantastic game, as did Mitchell, and a wonderful strike into the corner.
Third goal?
Well, it's Aberdeen causing their own problems here, giving it away. Derek White comes out, it's flicked past him there. Ian Durrant just lets, Vareille just peels off Gary Smith, and by the time before he can recover, he's put that in the net. It's pretty poor defending, to be honest with you. They're sitting in there. I mean, Aberdeen have possession of the ball. gave
A
it
little bit
away.
of deflection here, to be fair, as well.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Leighton might have got this, actually, if you look at it.
Yeah, he gets a break because Gary Smith's trying to recover, gets a foot in. I think it hits Jerome Vareille a second time there, and Jim Leighton's beaten, but it was bad defending, to be honest with you, at that stage.
And a suicidal penalty here, Willie, wasn't it?
I think so. You know, when you see forwards coming back, the last thing you're wanting them to do is put in any sort of a challenge. All you're asking them to do really is get in front of the attacker. I mean, Robbie Winter's coming back here. It's a clumsy challenge. Good strike from Paul Wright. He takes him very well, throwing Jim Leighton in the wrong direction, but that kind of sums up Aberdeen's day.
It does. From Kilmarnock's point of view, though, we've talked about them several times this season, Gordon, but they're a side who work hard for each other and have no little skill.
No, I mean, I just want to talk about how they set themselves up. Since Bobby Williamson took over, Kilmarnock have been a very, very strong unit. I mean, Gordon Marshall is an excellent goalkeeper experience. The back four there has almost been intact since Bobby Williamson took over. The only difference is you've got Baker, who's come in there for Dylan Kerr. Good young player, Baker. He's the youngest in the back four. You've got Montgomery, a stalwart, McGowne there, and you've got MacPherson on the right-hand side. The fullbacks get forward all day. The great thing about them, though, that is a solid base for Kilmarnock. Lose very few goals. The great thing is about the variety from midfield onwards. They've got Gary Holt just now, who I think is playing tremendously well on that side. They've got Mitchell playing over there. He's normally been a right winger, but he's been playing the left side now. He can actually come in off the side, go through as a striker. He can run down the wide part, and he forages really well and works hard in the midfield. You've got Durrant in there and Mark Reilly. Mark Reilly's an interesting one. Just come back to the club here, and he's a sitting player. He allows the others to get on all the time, and he's holding. That's been a very, very good acquisition to bring Mark Reilly back to the club. Durrant, as we know, has got all the ability, but you have Vareille, who can come and play wide and run off of wide areas. You've got Wright, who can drop back as people go past. But the main one for me, what's turned Kilmarnock into a challenging team this year rather than just a team who were a high position, is Ian Durrant, who has been absolutely tremendous. And once again today he showed it. I mean, look at the ability he has here just to turn people. I mean, he's got a full range of skills for a midfield player. His ability to hold the ball, turn, but his vision there, that nice little flick into somebody else there. There's a ball played into the box. Kilmarnock played a lot of good one-touch stuff today, and also the striking play. He hasn't scored enough goals, as we know. 2 last week, and a good strike there. That's a ball delivered. A little bit of difference from a corner, just played into MacPherson's feet. There's a little nutmeg again in Andy Dow, and then the change of play. That's the great thing about him. He can play it in the tight area there, the ability to hold the ball, but then the ability to change. And he's getting very well backed up with the midfield he has alongside him. I mean, you've got Gary Holt, who's played tremendously well, as I said, and Mark Reilly, who coming back there is a brilliant acquisition for them, because he can sit and hold and allow Ian Durrant to go and make the play.
I know you're a Durrant fan as well, Willie, obviously, but talk us through the main problems from Aberdeen's point of view as you see it.
Well, I agree with Gordon. I thought Ian Durrant was absolutely immense and a very good Kilmarnock midfield. The problem, as you see here, if Aberdeen were set up like that, with a man on top of Durrant and with the back four pushing out, then I believe that Vareille, who had an excellent game, and Durrant wouldn't have got the room to cause them as much problems as they did. But that didn't happen. Aberdeen sat back like that. There was a huge gap between their back four and their midfield. The midfield eventually sat back like that as well. And what was happening was Vareille was getting all sorts of room in this wide right area. And room really to pick up the ball, and it will turn and drive at the Aberdeen back four. Also, it doesn't give your midfield confidence to push on top of Ian Durrant. I don't think he's the type of player that you want to man-mark, but you want the Aberdeen team to squeeze the game up like that. And you need a bit of leadership from the back to do that. Keep the gaps between the back four and the midfield tight, and that didn't happen.
Yeah. Last question has to be Alec Miller. Sadly, the knee-jerk reaction these days, if you're on a bad run, sack the manager. Is that right? Is it fair? Is it the answer?
Well, I think Aberdeen have been through that too many times now. Their pool is very weak. Action should have been taken long before now, in my opinion. And I think it's now a testing time for the board of directors and everyone at Aberdeen Football Club.
Would you like to see them supporting Alec Miller, though, to work them out of this current problem?
I would like to see everybody supporting Aberdeen. I live in the area. I've had a lot of good times at Aberdeen. My heart is still there, and I wish them all the best. But they've got to show strength, they've got to show commitment, they've got to have money to bring in quality players. And the one good thing about it, if there is a good thing that's come out of the last two results, is that things aren't going well at the club.
Well, we said before that Aberdeen in free fall. Graham, you were there at Rugby Park yesterday. What did you make, first of all, the Aberdeen performance?
Very, very poor.
I mean, you know, for anyone that has a kind of respect for Aberdeen, which most of us have, given their history, the current Aberdeen team is an eyesore to watch. Substandard players who are lacking confidence, and with every passing week and every defeat, 1 win in 15, it's an accumulating problem. They're in free fall. The usual solution to this, and if you're a board of directors, is just to sack the manager. It can't possibly be as simple as that. No, I don't think it is as simple as that. I mean, I think Aberdeen are suffering from all sorts of chaos over the last 6 years. 4 managers in 6 years. Alex Smith, Willie Miller, Roy Aitken, and now Alec Miller. In that time, I suspect also there has been chaos internally at the club in terms of youth coaches, youth development. It strikes me, for example, that looking at this current Aberdeen team, this much vaunted Pittodrie youth system has not worked in 6 years. The young players that are coming through simply aren't up to it. I thought a lot of the Aberdeen players looked like First Division players yesterday. That was the thing. Well, Kilmarnock certainly didn't look like First Division players, Sandy. They're having a great spell at the moment.
They're playing exceptionally well. Bobby's got them flying. He's an enthusiastic type of character, and he's a smashing lad. He's a very good friend of mine, but he's got his team playing with real flair and belief. Just watching the game there and having looked at last week's game against Dunfermline, they've scored 7 goals, and they came from different areas of the pitch. They're scoring from midfield, up front, wide areas, and that's a great sign. And I feel a bit sorry for Aberdeen situation. You look at I think it's the third goal, Vareille's goal there, that really, in any other day, the ball doesn't end up in the back of the net, but when you're down, the breaks go against you, and when you're going well, they go for you, and that sums up yesterday's game.
Kilmarnock head for Ibrox on Saturday with no sign of an inferiority complex. Bobby Williamson's side have mixed it with Rangers with no little success over the last couple of seasons, most recently in the single-goal win that ultimately cost Rangers last season's championship. This season, Williamson feels Killie are in for the long haul.
No, we've got a good squad of players, and we're just gradually added to it in the last couple of seasons. Durrant, McCoist and Mahood come in at the start of the season, and they've added more strength and depth to the squad as well. And as I said, Durrant's been a revelation since day one.
How much have you spent in total?
When I took over initially.
But with this actual team at the moment, this Kilmarnock side as it stands, what is the most you've paid for a player, for instance?
I think it must have been about 70,000 for Martin Baker, plus Tom Brown went to St Mirren.
That's the most you've spent?
Yeah, it would have been as much as that. I think Gordon Marshall was about 50, something like that. So I'm not spending a lot of money. It's my money, the way I look at it, because the amount of money you spend, obviously, the more risk you're taking. I feel the club needed a bit of stability, and I was just trying to buy them time with getting players in that would do a job, and they've done a great job. I think you need good players, obviously, and you've got to make sure you bring the right player to the club. I mean, I've done my homework. When I brought Alan Mahood to the club and Martin Baker, we made sure they were good players, and we knew all about them before they came here, knew they would fit in, and they've done so. Ian Durrant, as I said, I've known Ian for a long time now, and we knew we were getting there, and McCoist, there was no risk there at all, and Gordon Marshall has always been a capable goalkeeper, so it's just make sure you bring the right players to your club, and they are going to settle in, and they have done that.
The other unusual thing about your side is the lack of foreigners. Jerome Vareille was the only foreigner in your side that started on Saturday. Is that a deliberate policy on your behalf?
Yeah, you don't know what you're getting when you're bringing in a foreign player. There's a whole package there. They might not settle, they might not speak the language, they've got families, or maybe wives and kids who might not even settle here either. So it's a big risk factor that we take into consideration there. And I'd rather buy Scottish and bring Scottish players through. We've brought Chris Innes in from Stenhousemuir to the squad, and he's made his debut. Martin O'Neill's here from Clyde as well. He's been here a few years now, and Martin's not actually broke in yet. But they're young players, and I feel that's the way ahead for Scottish football. We've really got to try and encourage Scottish players to be playing Scottish football.
You seem to be fairly popular in the dressing room.
I don't know about that.
But that can be unusual at a football club, can't it? I mean,
aye, it is. It's difficult to get the right balance there. There's plenty of guys that will possibly not like me for a short spell until they're back in the team, and then I'm back to one of their favourites. But it's not just the player you're upsetting his family, his kids, his wife, his mother and father. They all hate you as well because their boy's not playing. But that's the way it is. Every player in that dressing room, I think there's 26 of them now, and 10 YTs. No, I know, I like every one of them. I've got respect for them all. There's only 11 can play on a Saturday, and 4 or 5 on the bench, so they know if they're fortunate enough to get a chance, they've got to take it and stay in the team. As I said, there's nobody in there I don't like, and that's the way it's got to be.
Is it boss or gaffer, or is it Bobby?
Whatever.
What do they call you?
Whatever. As I said, Durrant, McCoist, guys like that have came to the club, call me Gaffer. Other guys I've known for a bit longer at the club have called me Bobby, but and a few other choice words behind my back, I would imagine. So, no, it's not a big problem. That it's just a way of showing each other respect, I suppose. But no, I'm not a big one for the gaffers.
Do you draw the line when a full-time whistle goes, or would you quite happily go for a beer with the players?
No, I don't think I'm welcome in that stakes. But we did go to Dublin, had a few beers together, and it was getting a bit rowdy, so I disappeared and left them to it. I wasn't wanting to be responsible for that lot. But no, we've got a good bunch of boys, and I think I would be welcome with some of them for a pint occasionally, but it's no problem. I know where to draw lines, you say, and walk away and let them go on, mate.
Is that important? You said you took them to Dublin. Was that a deliberate effort to try and forge a kind of team
That's
spirit?
Right. It was McCoist and Durrant instigated that one. We've been finding
social convenience, yeah.
We've been finding the boys for the start of the season silly things for turning up late, or we get fined a £5, or leaving stuff out in the training park, training gear stuff that I'm getting fined. And the money was adding up, and we said, right, we'll have a night in October. We'll go out and have a few drinks, enjoy ourselves, and relax in general. And the money was down to accrue, as I said, and we ended up a weekend away in Dublin, which Durrant and McCoist couldn't make it because they got called up for the Scotland squad, so they missed it. And it was a majority of their money, to be fair. As you can imagine, McCoist, he's paying every day for he's 5 minutes late. But no, it's good. I'm a great believer that it gets a bit of camaraderie going, and we get to know players.
Since Williamson took over at Rugby Park, the Ayrshire side have gone onwards and upwards. But he's been in the game long enough now to take the odd setback philosophically.
Well, we've had our hiccups. No, we've lost a few games that people probably didn't expect to lose, and it hurts. And I think it's when you suffer the defeats, it makes the victories even taste better. And you don't want to suffer the defeats, as I said, but you're going to lose them occasionally. But it's how you respond from it. And every time our guys have bounced back positively. If we've suffered a defeat, we've always come back and got a point or maybe a result the next game, and that's the most important thing. We've got to keep coming back like that.
Rangers are top of the Premier League, but only just. They're 1 goal better off than Kilmarnock. Celtic are still third, followed by St Johnstone, Hearts, Dundee, Dundee United, Motherwell, Dunfermline and Aberdeen. There's one match on Wednesday night, St Johnstone against Hearts at McDermott Park. On Saturday, managerless Aberdeen take on Hearts. Dundee United play Celtic, it's Dunfermline against Motherwell. The joint leaders face each other at Ibrox. Rangers take on Kilmarnock, and it's St Johnstone against Dundee. The weekend produced important wins for both Kilmarnock and Hearts. Killie are now joint top going into Saturday's clash against Rangers, and Hearts' 2-1 win over Celtic should be the springboard to a strong lead challenge from Jim Jeffries' men. Charlie gives his verdict on both sides.
Well, the live match on Sunday evening was an absolute cracker between Hearts and Celtic, and I'll look at Hearts in just a moment. But the performance of the week for me was Kilmarnock, and manager Bobby Williamson must be absolutely delighted the way his team has performed so far this season. But I think it's one key area in particular that's been impressive, and that's midfield. Ian Durrant is their most creative player, and their movement is also impressive. But they bring the opposition in very tight, and then they get it to the wider positions and take advantage of it. Again, Durrant, the passer. He can play it simple wide to Gus MacPherson, but he wants to hurt them more than that. It's a lovely pass, and he's in a position now to be more creative. Good individual skills, and a little bit of luck, but good reaction from Ali Mitchell. Well, for me, the most improved player in Scottish football is Gary Holt. A great worker in midfield, but gives a lovely balance with Ian Durrant this season. On this occasion, he's the furthest forward, going and supporting the strikers, which allows Durrant to come from a lot deeper. Ali Mitchell's back helping out defensively, so again allows Holt to be further forward. But watch the strength here. Goes by people for fun. Vareille's got good pace also. But watch you supporting from midfield. Ali Mitchell and a fabulous strike. Well, it's that combination again. Gary Holt wins the header. That allows Durrant to go and support the forwards. He has to time his run right. It's a good flick. Suddenly he's at the heart of the Aberdeen defence. Then it's up to Vareille to make the run for him. He could go right, but he decides to check out and stay wide left. It's a lovely pass. Clever first touch from Vareille. and a neat finish. I said about the improvement of Gary Holt. Good individual skill here, but I think he's learning from Ian Durrant's passing. And look how fluent it looks. The most impressive thing of all is the shape. Reilly also involved. The little triangles, they balance very well with each other. And of course, when Ian Durrant's on the ball, he can make anything happen. Wonderful to watch, and a team in top form.